Warcraft was once upon a time my favorite game out there, and I've invested so much into the world, the lore, and the game that I'm quite disappointed. I was disappointed I gave up on it, but life has this weird way of always circling back, and here I am talking about Warcraft once more. Because while I gave up on the world and on everything related to Warcraft, or more exactly giving money to Blizzard, screw you Blizzard, I found something interesting that there are many words left unsaid, and I think it's a good idea to say them outright. As you can tell by the title, I don't think Warcraft has any more fans. Not people like me or people like Az from Heel vs Babyface anymore, or others. I don't think Warcraft has those fans anymore. Warcraft has tourists instead, which is quite funny when you consider that World of Warcraft is pretty much a theme park MMO. You go from one place to the other while throwing money at people that are not even competent at their jobs. But, that's a different story. Warcraft used to be big once, is no longer. It no longer has people that know how to do it. C'est la vie. Now, what I want to say is that Warcraft has tourists, not fans, and these can be split into two parts. There's the good tourists. The tourist people are usually okay with those that come, bring an economical investment into a zone, and then leave. They come, see, it's nice, and so on. A good example for this is basically most people that go to Disneyland. They come, they enjoy the rides, they give their money to people that are not even competent at their own jobs, and then they leave. At the end of the day, there are many people like this, and I can't say anything bad about them because they're having fun. They're giving money to people they shouldn't, but at least they're having fun, and that's what's important. Our biggest problem is the second kind of tourists, though. The kind that we also have in Warhammer. But in Warhammer, they can be managed. They're stupid. They can easily be proven wrong and easily batted away. And it also helps that a company, Games Workshop, is run by people that know what they're doing at minimum. And that's enough to keep away those crazy desires that make no sense, like female space marines or dark eldars with souls of gold, or those moronic requests are kept in check by the company. But Warcraft isn't, because again, Warcraft isn't made with competent people. It doesn't also help that Blizzard is an American company. Now, we can talk about that certain event that happened in the 60s that destroyed American culture and societal fabric until this day, but that's way too big of a topic and we don't have the time for that. What we have the time, though, is to talk about this side of Warcraft. The tourists that are there, not because they like Warcraft, compared to the first case of tourists. No, they are there because they want to change it. Like all woke infestations, they are not there to bring something, or even enjoy something for what it is. They are there to change it and destroy it. One of my favorite examples for this is basically player housing, something that exists in Final Fantasy XIV and a few other games, and people are complaining to the moon that they want player housing in this game specifically. They've also complained about there not really being a point to the faction system, which is one thing that's keeping World of Warcraft different, separated, shall we say. It's making it unique compared to the other Korean MMOs out there. And these are just one examples. We can go through a bunch of them. For example, getting offended by a certain word used for a certain character that means something bad, technically something bad, in a language that, let's be honest, very few people speak, and in total, certain cities have more people in them than that language has speakers. We can also talk about certain design elements for gear in World of Warcraft that are accused of being racismus. Because of course it is. Oh, it's a pointy hat. Well, we're gonna ignore all the other pointy hats that exist throughout history because somebody decided this is a KKK reference because they're American. You see, that's the problem. Being an American blinds you to the rest of the world, but that's a different issue. Let's go back to our tourists. If it sounds like these tourists are mentally unwell, much in the same way people that consider Tyranids in Warhammer 40k to be parodies or caricatures of Jews is because you are correct. We're talking about the same kind of turrets that were also a problem for Dungeons and Dragons. And of course, Wizard of the Coast and Hasbro, being an American company, made the decision to, you know what, our orcs really are racist. We really have been the biggest racists out there. Funnily enough, the Warcraft turrets share the same common elements with people that say orcs were racist in Dungeons and Dragons. They also think orcs are racists in World of Warcraft. Now, usually such cases of tourism can be easily ignored by laughing at them. But remember, Blizzard is an American company, and they will listen to the tourists, mostly because the Blizzard devs nowadays are tourists themselves. Oh, Steve Donser. Gotta hate that guy. Steve Donser is a fan of the final season of Game of Thrones. Take that in mind. That's not somebody that should be writing anything. But still, he is there. There are many people, in fact, that work for Blizzard who are very easy to communicate with as long as you speak the same language of victimhood, the same narrative of tourism. Because at the end of the day, people don't want Warcraft to be Warcraft. They want Warcraft to be something else, including the devs. The devs want Warcraft to be their little safe space out there where they can have their queer ideology, putting flowers in children's hair and nope, we're not going there. No. I hate that already. Anyway, the devs want to make that their safe space, and the people that are playing, I presume they're playing, I guess, want to change it fundamentally so it's another game. The goal is kind of the same. They want to change Warcraft and turn it for something that it is into something else. And here's the thing. I know there are people out there that consider themselves fans, that like Warcraft. They like Warcraft for what it is. There is something to say about liking something that's degrading fast. And again, there are also Star Wars fans in 2023, so you know what? You have my sympathy, my condolences, and I hope they find a cure. Joking aside, I'm sorry for those two fans. I get you exist out there, and you don't really fit any of these two categories. You don't want Warcraft to be fundamentally changed because you suffer from woke brain rot, but also you enjoy it for more than just a theme park attraction. I get it. Again, I know you exist. I know you're fewer in numbers than you used to be back in the day, but this isn't about you. Now that I've mentioned this, let's go back. These tourists exist, and they seem to be the majority of Warcraft. Being also the loudest kind of tourists gives them a certain interesting pull with the other tourists that work for Blizzard Entertainment. And it's interesting overall when you look at it. When you have so few real fans left, and everybody else is just willing to throw money to people that are not good at their job, and the other part really doesn't like the game, doesn't like anything related to Warcraft, and wants to fundamentally change it. Nevertheless, I hope you enjoyed this, and I'll see you in the next one.